Some days I find myself feeling like I'm completely lost. Like I'm kind of just figuring it out as I go, hoping that something just works out, right? And for a while, I thought that meant that I was just failing or not being enough, falling behind, even, right? But now I'm starting to feel like maybe that's just part of life. Maybe not knowing how to grow or what to do is how growth really begins. Now, what makes me feel unsure most of the time? And I think the most common factor is genuinely just overthinking, right? Overthinking really brought out a lot of possibilities in my head, a lot of what ifs, what things could end up being, right? And that really would mess with my perception of what's real and what's not because I'm trying to predict or assume something that probably isn't even there. And I would find myself second guessing myself so much when I think, right? Maybe I feel like, oh, this is right. But then I'll find myself asking, is this really right? Was it truly right? Did I do the right thing? And then those thoughts will spiral because I'll always try to find the negatives of that decision. Never look at the ups. Always look at what is the downs, what's the problems, right? That is what I think really created my uncertainty or even indecisiveness. Now, I got a question for whoever's watching this now, and well, a question for me too, which is, have you ever done something without really knowing if it was the right move or not? Personally, I have, right? And yeah, I'll just share it. So, there was this time that I really liked this girl, right? And I really didn't know if I should talk to her, try to get to know her, get close, and who knows, right? Maybe we end up becoming something, who knows? But then, right, as I'm building up the courage to make a move on her, I end up second guessing, I guess you could say, and I decided not to text her. I decided that it wasn't right for me to just do that. I felt like I didn't need this in my life, right? But part of me also said that I might regret this one day. Like, who knows, someone might jump the gun and get her first. Or, like, who knows that I'm gonna end up hurt too, that I didn't even try to get with this girl. Like, now, I don't regret that at all, of course, but at the time, I chose not to talk to her or make a move without knowing that was the best decision I could have made. Because now I do feel like that was the right decision. That was the best decision. And I had to do it trusting that gut feeling I had that felt like I truly didn't need to have this relationship. And yeah, especially not with her too, right? And so I had this thought once about why does it not feel right to not have everything figured out, to not have a clear plan, always be confident and be in control of what's to come, right? I've always felt like, why is it so wrong to feel like I don't have that? And the reality is, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be in control of literally every single aspect of your life. And that's completely fine. It's normal to be confused, to be conflicted, to be unsure. sometimes in life you just have to go with the flow too. But of course, having things figured out is also good. But there's just specific moments too, maybe that I feel like I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't need to be in full control of this. I don't have to know everything to know that this is something that would be right for me, something that would bring benefit, something I want to pursue, right? Well, to anyone that might be feeling lost right now, I just want you to know that it's fine to not know everything. It's fine to not know where you're heading to. Of course, it's best to try figure things out, to try plan things in advance, but you don't need to have everything figured out, especially people that try to just figure out really complex and hard things, especially like life altering decisions, trying to figure all that out maybe overnight. I feel like that's just not right. You're forcing yourself into a choice that might not even be right for you, a choice that you only chose because you had a deadline. You had to pick one before X amount of time. And well, yeah, in certain cases, yeah, but you don't have to just figure it all out in the span of like what, an hour, a day, or whatever, right? You don't have to. I noticed this one was a bit longer than the others, so I'm gonna just wrap this up now. And of course, I want to say something before I end it off, which is maybe we don't need to have everything figured out yet. Maybe just trying and putting in the effort, even if it's not perfect, is enough for now, enough for yourself, and hopefully the ones around you. And sometimes maybe being confused, lost, or unsure, even not knowing, is just part of finding out the real person you are. Thank you for watching.